Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Menken back here with Splash Sports. Today is June 12th, 2024. Little recap on yesterday's performance. We ended up going 1-2 again. That's back-to-back days. They're at 1-2. Not good. We still want winning days here. We had the Angels and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Angels had runners on first and second. Nobody out, and could not score a run there in the top of the first inning. Tough one to swallow there. Had only one game hit, and that was the Seattle Mariners and the Chicago White Sox there with Logan Gilbert on the bump. So tough one definitely to swallow there, but hey, let's turn it around. I'm hunting these games down, and let's absolutely flip the coin here. Let's roll into it. Remember, on this show, all we care about is the first 6 outs of the ball game, plain and simple. NRFI means no runs first inning, while YRFI means yes runs first inning. But before I get into those plays, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel and toggle on that notification button. That way, every time I drop another video, you guys will be notified. All right, let's take a look at Wednesday's game. Starting off with game number 1, we got the Chicago Cubs taking on the Tampa Bay Rays here. For the Chicago Cubs, we got Javier Assad on the mound. He's 4-2 this season with 66 innings of work. He does have an ERA sitting at a 2.74 here with 68 strikeouts, averaging a strikeout here per inning and 21 earned runs on the season for Assad. He'll be matched up in Tampa Bay against Aaron Chavel here. He is 2-5 on the season, 67 innings of work, an ERA a little high, 5.51 here, 68 strikeouts, averaging a strikeout here per inning and 41 earned runs there for Chavel. Chavel's coming off a loss in his last outing against the Orioles, going 5 innings of work, 7 hits, and 4 earned runs. Also, Assad is coming off a loss in his last outing as well, going 5.2 innings of work, 7 hits, and 5 earned runs against the Cincinnati Reds. Like both pitchers coming out here strong. They're coming off losses, Chavel and Assad, and I think this is a great bounce back game for both of them. You got a lot of guys on both sides that are banged up too offensively in this lineup for the Cubs and for Tampa Bay. You got Assad, who's coming off a loss against the Reds, and you got Chavel, who's coming off a loss against the Baltimore Orioles at home. He's pitching back at home again for his next start against these Cubbies. Give me the NRFI in game number 1 between the Chicago Cubs and the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's roll into game number 2 between the Houston Astros taking on the San Francisco Giants here. For the Houston Astros, Framber Valdez will be on the mound. He's 5-3 with 63.2 innings of work. He does have an ERA sitting at a 3.53 here. 50 strikeouts on the season, below a strikeout here per inning, and 25 earned runs for Valdez. He'll be matched up against the San Francisco Giants guy, Logan Webb. Logan Webb is 5-5 currently this season, 86.1 innings of work. He does have an ERA sitting at a 2.92 with 73 strikeouts and 28 earned runs. Webb, he's picking up his 5th win in his last start against the Texas Rangers there, going 7 innings of work, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs. Same with Valdez. Both these pitchers coming off wins here. Valdez for the Houston Astros got the win in his last performance against the Angels, going 9 innings of work, 4 hits, and 1 earned run. He pitched a complete game in that one. He could be a little tired rolling into this one, but I think Framber Valdez is still going to absolutely command the strike zone and attack these San Francisco hitters, and same with Logan Webb. Logan Webb is at home where he pitches the best. I like him against this Houston Astros lineup here tonight. That's why in game number 2 between the Houston Astros and the San Francisco Giants, we're smacking the NRFI, no runs first inning. So on to our third and final game between the Chicago White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners here. For the Chicago White Sox, they got Jonathan Cannon on the mound. He's 0-1 with 16.2 innings of work. That's it. 16.2 innings of work so far for Cannon. ERA sitting at a 5.94 here, 17 strikeouts and 11 earned runs. He's averaging over a strikeout per inning, which is pretty good, but only 16.2 innings of work so far this season. He'll be matched up here in Seattle against Bryce Miller, who's 5-5, 75.2 innings of work. He does have an ERA sitting at a 3.31 here, 72 strikeouts, just under a strikeout here per inning, and 32 earned runs. Hasn't had a win or a loss in his last 2 games, Cannon here, but in his last game or not Cannon, I should say Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller has not got a win or a loss in his last 2 games, and he did not look good whatsoever in his last performance against the Kansas City Royals, going 5 innings of work, 6 hits, and 7 earned runs for Miller. You look at what Canning did in his last performance, he didn't even make it through the 4th inning. He got a full 3 innings of work and got pulled against the Kansas City Royals. I like the Chicago White Sox team maybe to chip away at Bryce Miller in the top of the 1st, but I like the Seattle Mariners team getting to Jonathan Cannon. He's only got 16 innings of work here, and the Seattle Mariners have been coming out strong in ball games. That's why in game number 3 between the Chicago White Sox and the Seattle Mariners, we're smacking the YRFI yes runs 1st inning. Let's take a recap of the games I've selected for you today. Game number 1 between the Chicago Cubs and the Tampa Bay Rays, we were smacking the NRFI no runs 1st inning. Game number 2 between the Houston Astros and the San Francisco Giants, we were also smacking the NRFI no runs 1st inning. In our 3rd and final game between the Chicago White Sox and the Seattle Mariners, we were smacking the YRFI yes runs 1st inning. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick Menken with Splash Sports. If you have not done so, smack that like button for me. It helps me out a ton, and it costs you guys none. And let's have a winning day. Let's break this little streak, that losing streak that we're on. Let's crank it into a 2-1 day, maybe a 3-0 sweep. And if you're not following me over on X, make sure to go do so for all my MLB plays. At Nick Menken, best of luck and best bets.